It's about time.
Members of the press, thank you for joining us this morning, as well as Malawians all over the country. This morning, I have the honor of presenting to you the itinerary that the President is going to be following this week, as well as updating you on some of the engagements that the President had in the week that just ended. However, I would like to begin with some housekeeping matters because about an hour ago, the President met his newly appointed Deputy Director of Communications here at State House. And so this morning, I have the honor of introducing her to you so that you can become familiar with Ms. Wezi Kasambala, who has been appointed by His Excellency the President to be Deputy Director of Communications here at State Residences. And she's going to be a regular feature during the State House brief, and so it seems appropriate that you should get to know her. For those of you that do not already know her, because she's not an unfamiliar face to many Malawians, having been featured on many programs at Times Television and over the course of the last 7 years. And so allow me to introduce Ms. Wezi Kasambala to you. As she comes up, let me just mention, hasten to mention, that we do have also other recruits in our backroom staff, and during our next State House brief, I will introduce those to you as well. Ms. Wezi.
Thank you very much, the Director of Communications. It is indeed an honor to be standing before you, my fellow Malawians, today, when the President calls upon you to take up such a task and to serve in this capacity. I think it's testament to the confidence and the faith that he has in one's capabilities. And I think I would be doing a disservice and an injustice to turn such an opportunity down. What I will say is we have a fantastic team, which I'm sure you've all become very familiar with. I'm working with some very talented, very devoted individuals, and we are resolute that we will help realize the President's ambition and his vision. I think that's what it's all about. We want to carry through with what the President has in mind. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who's been involved in this process of allowing me to be here. And I thank my fellow colleagues, the media. I hope we can continue to have a cordial and indeed a harmonious relationship up to a point. And I certainly look forward to the future and hope that we can continue on the trajectory that my colleagues have already started on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wezi. Ladies and gentlemen of the press and fellow Malawians, I now would like to walk you through some of the matters that the President has engaged in over the course of the past week, and update you on some activities he has lined up this coming week. Last week, Monday the 22nd of February, the President met with the Secretary to the President and Cabinet in his capacity as Chair of the NOCMA, the National Oil Company of Malawi, as well as the Minister of Energy, in order for the President to be kept abreast on matters to do with fuel supply in this season. After that, later that afternoon, the President met with Minister of Foreign Affairs, as well as other officials from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, to begin preparations for his attendance of the Africa Regional Review meeting opening ceremony, which the President was presiding over and addressing that particular Monday. And he was addressing it in his capacity as chair of the 46-member least developed countries. The President on that occasion opened the ceremony about 2 hours after that briefing, which took place at 3 p.m., Malawi has been hosting the 46 countries of the least developed countries group over the course of this past week. And so it was a 5-day engagement. It happened from Monday all the way to Friday, and the opening ceremony was presided by His Excellency the President. But that opening ceremony also had in attendance the State Vice President, Right Honorable Dr. Saulos Chilima, as well as other ministers of government who presented various papers throughout the course of the regional review meeting. That was Monday, the 22nd of February. On Tuesday, the 23rd, the President met in alternation with heads of security agencies, in particular the commander of the Malawi Defense Force, General Vincent Nundwe, as well as the deputy commander. They attended that meeting together. Later, the President had an engagement on certain legal matters with his legal advisor, Counsel Larry Nida, so that he could review some of the legal implications of some of the decisions that the President had on his desk at that material time. On Wednesday, the chief engagement that the President had that morning was a meeting with Dr. Chilima, Dr. Ben Chilima, and Dr. Miriam Nyenje of the Institute of Public Health of Malawi. And they have updated the President on some of the work that they are coordinating across the country with the scientists that are working in the laboratories of Malawi in order to coordinate efforts to test patients for the COVID-19 virus and provide the information to health officials that need to use that information to make decisions about how to approach the pandemic. Last night, in his final and 8th COVID-19 address, President Lazarus Chakwera indicated that the efforts that he is making together with the Ministry of Health and its officials and the COVID-19 task force under his supervision are bearing fruit, because the goal presently is to get the positivity rate of new infections down to 5% or below. We did start with anywhere between 30 and 40% positivity rate at the beginning, in the middle of January, and now we are down to 8%. And so the President made an appeal last night to the general public to continue adhering to preventive measures so that we can continue to drop that positivity rate further. On Thursday, the 25th of February, the President left the capital for the north to the city of Mzuzu, where he spent one night at the Mzuzu State Lodge. And he had a briefing with officials from the Mzuzu University, because the purpose of the President's visit to the north was to preside over the commencement ceremony at Mzuzu University, where he was also installed as the Chancellor of the university. The President had intended to spend 2 nights in Mzuzu so that he could rest the night after the graduation. Unfortunately, the President had to cancel the rest of his engagements on the Friday afternoon after the graduation ceremony on account of the death of his aunt back in the capital, outside the city, at Malembo village, where the President comes from. So the President cut short his visit, and soon after attending the Mzuni congregation, which was held virtually but hosted at the Grand Palace Hotel, the President took a short break at the State Lodge and then proceeded to the capital, where he arrived at 5 p.m. who were grieving the loss of this grand aunt, and he went to Malembo village on the morning of Saturday, the 27th of February, spent a few hours there. But the President did not want his presence at the funeral to attract a crowd, because that would be in breach of COVID-19 measures, and so he did go there earlier, before the ceremony began, so that he could spend some time with the family in private and condole them, and then return before his presence there would attract a crowd that would put people at risk. This week, the president, as we speak, is addressing the Aswan conference, which is being hosted and presided over by the President of Egypt, His Excellency Al-Sisi, who has requested the President to address the delegation in Cairo today. And so the President is doing that now. And soon after that, the President is going to be meeting, as is his custom, every Monday morning, the Secretary to the President and Cabinet, in order to follow up on the status of various directives that the President had given during the week, so that those are followed through with action. And then later in the day, because of certain activities that the President is going to engage in the days to come, he's going to have an interface with Madame Colleen Zamba, who is the President's chief advisor on SDGs and international affairs. And then tomorrow, Tuesday the 2nd of March, His Excellency the President will meet with his international strategic advisor, his friend Dr. Greg Mills, who is in the country to advise the President on certain matters of development that border on partnerships with other countries. And so he's going to be having that engagement tomorrow morning, and that is going to be followed by an interface that the President is going to have with the Export Development Fund and officials from the same. And those are some of the engagements that the President will have. There are others that are coming up from Wednesday to the end of the week, and so we will give you an update on those during the next update. At this point, I would like to invite the Presidential Press Secretary, Mr. Brian Banda, who is going to be engaging with members of the press via the Zoom platform in answering various questions on matters of the state and giving you an update on the President's thoughts, sentiments, as well as decisions and points of view on the same. I thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. We will now take some questions. On the Zoom platform, there is a sign where you can raise up your hand, and we will be able to recognize you. So, do we have any hands? Or you can write. You can write on the platform, then we will be able to give you an opportunity to ask any question. I don't know if we have any hands up, Scott. I can't hear you. Yes, let's have Times, who is asking from Times Group. Please go ahead. I can hear you, yes. Is that Jameson?
Report. I want to find out the President's thoughts now on the issue to do with teachers. As we are speaking now, students are still being sent back despite area communication from the ministry that every teacher should go back. What is the position of Dr. Chakwera in this matter? I understand he had delegated this issue to the task force, but the task force doesn't seem to solve this thing in the interest of the student.
Can you come again? Jameson, I missed the last part of your question. I think our speakers were a bit low here. So may you take it from the top again?
Okay. I'm saying my question is on the president's thoughts regarding the situation in our schools now. The ministry had directed the teachers to return to school, but today students are being sent back to say that
they have been home for some time now. The leadership of TUM was here at the palace where they discussed, and the president referred their concerns to the Presidential Committee on COVID-19. And as we are speaking right now, the committee made its recommendations to the president on how this matter should be dealt with. But at the same time, Jameson, we should also be able to understand that this issue of allowances and whatever the teachers are asking for, we should all be guided by science. What I'm saying is those that are in the field of science have categories of those who are at more risk than the others. Science should be able to guide us in understanding who is at risk and those that should be assisted first. And it is President Chakwera's understanding that the teachers in this country will help to understand the principle of science. The teachers have been not going to their work for the past 3-4 months now, and as we consider these issues, it is the president's understanding that the teachers will be able also to understand that the science that is directing all these in as far as who is at more risk will be respected, and that the teachers will help the president to understand the science on who is at risk and who is not. Ndimafuna ndiyankhule nchichewa chifukwa funso limene mwafunsa inu Jameson chauluka kuchokera ku Times ndi funso lofunika kwambiri. Maskulu ndi otseka, mwanena kuti aphunzitsi sakupita ku ntchito. Timafuna tinene kuti a president ndi okhudzidwa ndi zimenezi. Utsogoleri wa TUM unabwera kuno ku State House kumene anakhala pansi ndi kukambirana ndi a president ndi unduna wa zamaphunziro za nkhani imeneyi. Ndipo a president adapereka direction kunena kuti nkhani imeneyi iwonikiridwe ndi komiti imene ikuyang'ana za matenda a COVID. Tikumva kuti komiti inapereka recommendations yawo kwa president komanso ku TUM mmene angagwirire nkhani imeneyi. Koma timafuna tinene kunena kuti pamene tikuyang'ana nkhani imeneyi, tiyeni tiyang'ane moona mtima. Kuona mtima kwake nkwakuti mukudziwa kuti aphunzitsi akhala miyezi tsopano asakupita kukaphunzitsa ku skulu. Komanso pali anthu ena amene akhala kugwira ntchito usiku ndi usana. Ndiye ndimaona ngati kuti pamene tikuyang'ana zinthu ngati zimenezi ndi kumvetsetsa kwa president kuti aphunzitsi akhalanso akuzindikira powathandiza chifukwa nkhani ya ma risk allowance ikuchitidwa define ndi aza science. Aza science atipatsa ma categories a anthu amene ali pa risk, ndipo ndikumvetsetsa kwa president kunena kuti iwo amene akutitsogolera pa nkhani ya ma risk podzera muluso la science, aphunzitsi athandiza kumvetsetsa pa amene ali pa chiopsezo kwambiri ndi amene sali pa chiopsezo kwambiri. A president amakhulupirira kuti aphunzitsi amagwira ntchito yotamandika kwambiri mdziko muno, koma nkofunika kuti tiyang'ane nkhani mozama komanso mozindikira bwino chifukwa chonena kuti tili ndi ana a skulu amene akhala pa khomo kwa nthawi yayitali. So a president akukhulupirira kunena kuti pakhala kumvetsetsana kwabwino pa nkhani imeneyi kuti maskulu athu akhala kugwira ntchito, kuti ana athu apite ku skulu pokonza tsogolo lawo. So poyankha funso lanu ndonena kuti aphunzitsi athandize kumvetsetsa pa direction imene a science apereka pa nkhani ya who is at risk and who is not. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next question. Do we have any hands? Philip Zalanyama, is it from Channel for All Nations?
Exactly.
Yes, Philip.
Brian, my question is on the state of national security, following what we have seen lately, where we saw the minister's vehicle and not able to be found in Rumpi, and also we saw some storage gadgets being stolen in the office of the vice president. So, as Mr. Kampondeni has put that the president over the week met with heads of security agencies, I just want to understand what he was briefed as in regard to the state of national security following these two issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Philip. Chifukwa cha funso lanu, funso lofunika kwambiri. Ndizoonadi kunena kuti mdziko muno mwakhala ma incidences awiri atatu oonetsa kuti there has been a lapse in as far as security is concerned. President Chakwera amakhulupirira kunena kuti there should be rule of law. Aliyense amene waphwanya lamulo alandire chilango choyenera. President Chakwera akukhulupirira kuti the security agencies amene ali mdziko muno agwira ntchito mwa ukadaulo pothana ndi mavuto amenewa once and for all. Ndimafuna ndinene kunena kuti President Chakwera ali ndi total confidence in the security agencies amene akugwira ntchito mdziko muno. Aliyense amene angasokoneze malamulo a dziko lino kapena chitetezo cha dziko lino, anthu azachitetezo, mabungwe azachitetezo ali ndi kuthekera kothana ndi mavuto amenewa. Ndipo chidaliro chawo nchonena kuti azikonza zimenezi mwamsanga, and God forbid wina atayeseranso kuchita zimenezi, he's going to face the long arm of the law. Palibe kuchita mantha, Amalawi asakhale ndi nkhawa. Boma la Chakwera liyesetsa kuteteza wina aliyense usiku ndi masana. Nkhani imene mwakamba ya kwa vice president, zona vice president anabwera kudzakumana ndi president, koma these are classified meetings. I may not be in a position to comment further on what they talk about again and again. Koma a president akudziwa za zimene mwakamba za the lapse in security, ndipo he's confident kunena kuti the security agencies akwaniritsa kuzikonza zinthu zimenezi. Let's take another question. Yeah, Tom Chumya. Let's have Tom Chumya from London.
Good afternoon.
It's morning in Malawi.
My question will be simple. Actually, sorry, I've come in so late, so I don't know whether it has been raised or not, but I'll still pose the question. Lately, we have seen how the former presidential bodyguard, Mr. Norman Chisale, has had his assets seized by the state authority court. And Malawians are startled with the revelation of his wealth compared to his position in government. To avoid Chisale's scenario crippling him in the new administration, I just wanted to know, you, the gatekeepers at the State House, the presidential aides, whether presidential aides have declared their assets to avoid us seeing you buying Pajeros, big mansions in the future. Just wanted to know whether the presidential aides, the team of presidential aides, have declared their assets. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chumya, for your question. I wanted to say that the issue of the former president security aid is in court, and we may not be competent enough to comment on issues that are in court. But President Chakwera, as I said, he believes in the rule of law. The Super High Five is a great initiative that is going to put Malawi in a greater shape. The president did declare his assets, and it's in public. He has also continued to encourage all his lieutenants and his aides to make sure that they do declare. A lot have declared, but this is an ongoing process, and I believe that, as you know, Tom, we have only been in this administration for 7 months now, and we are still hitting the ground, and a lot of president aides, they are yet to declare their assets, but the majority of them, they are continuing to declare their assets. The president has made a great example in declaring the assets, and I believe that all his aides and even those that are in government will also do the same. But I can assure you that there is a lot of gatekeeping processes here at the palace, and President Chakwera, being the servant leader, he wouldn't want and he doesn't want to make sure that every penny that is supposed to go to he makes sure that every penny that is going to Malawians should indeed reach Malawians. And you know that the president has said time and again that he wants a Malawi that benefits all of us. In his own words, Malawi watonse. So be assured that President Chakwera is committed to making sure that every cent is counted for, and also at the same time to making sure that the gatekeeping processes in government and even here at the palace. But about the issue that you are referring to, I may not competently comment on that, as it is in the court of law. McLeana from Timven. McLeana from Timven. Tikudigira kuti timve funso lina ndimafuna ndingonena mchichewa chifukwa funso limene afunsa Tom Jumnya kuchokera ku United Kingdom ndi funso lofunika kwambiri. Iwo akufunsa kuti tamva kuti zinthu zina sizinaende bwino mbuyo omwe akutchula mayina amenemo, I don't want to mention names, koma kuti Chakwera aonetsetsa bwanji kuti zinthu ngati zimenezo zisadzachitike. Ndi ndimanena kunena kuti President Chakwera amakhulupirira mu servant leadership, komanso kuonetsetsa kunena kuti ndalama zimene zikuyenera kupita kwa Malawi zipitedi kwa Malawi. So iwowa president adali oyambirira kulengeza za chuma chimene ali nacho, declaration of assets, ndipo Malawi adamva za katundu amene ali nayo, ndipo he's leading by example kuonetsetsa kunena kuti ngakhale iwo amene akugwira nawo ntchito mboma kapenanso kuno ku nyumba ya chifumu lengeze katundu amene ali nayo. Kulengeza kumathandiza kuti anthu asamalemere modabwitsa chifukwa zimenezi si zinthu sizingakhale zinthu zabwino. Ndiye akufunitsitsa kunena kuti ndalama ina iliyonse imene ikuyenera kupita kwa Malawi ipite, ndipo iwo adaonetsa chitsanzo chokwanira pokhala oyambirira kulengeza za katundu amene ali nayo, ndipo mukhoza kupeza zimenezo. It's a public document, mukhoza kupeza zimenezo nkuona kuti kodi Chakwera ali ndi katundu otani. Palibe uyu amene angasewere ndi katundu wa Malawi kuno ku nyumba ya chifumu ngakhalenso mboma. Next question. Is it Frank? Do we have anyone else? Okay, Peter Makosa. Peter Makosa.
Hello, can
Yes.
you hear me, Brian?
Yes, I can hear you, Peter.
Hello.
Peter Makosa, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. So I have two questions. The first one is earlier on the president promised to reduce some of his powers, and he specifically mentioned something about being the chancellor of the university.
Yes.
But after that, we've seen him becoming the chancellor of Lilongwe, then Chancellor College, and now Mzuzu University. When is he going to take the direction that he promised? Secondly, on the same, the president also promised about vetting the ministers and have in public, like the public, they submit the reports and then it will be in public domain, people to see how they have performed. I understand that due to the COVID, things have a little bit delayed, but I just wanted to find out when will that happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Makosa from Nottingham, if I'm not mistaken, for joining us. Very important questions. The first question, why is President Chakwera is still continuing to be the chancellor despite his area stance? The president has made it very clear when he was presiding over the graduation for Luana, his first graduation since becoming the head of state and government. He did mention that he is committed in making sure that he doesn't become the chancellor of the universities. What he has done is to let the Minister of Justice review the laws that govern the same, and once the review is done, it will be taken to Parliament, and the Parliament will table those bills. But in the meantime, the law allows him, as a head of state and government, to be the chancellor of the universities. And you should also know, Mr. Makosa, that there are university students that have finished their courses that are waiting for these graduations. And since the laws have not yet changed, the laws allow him at this material time to be the chancellor of the university, so that the graduation takes place and that the graduates should graduate and they begin now to search for whatever jobs that they are looking for. The president is very committed, but we cannot change the law until the law is changed. Then the president will relinquish those powers that he has as the chancellor. But in the meantime, the law allows him to be the chancellor, and there are ceremonies that are supposed to take place now. And because because the laws have not yet changed, he's entitled to perform those duties as chancellor of the universities. When the law changes, then he will cease to be the chancellor of the universities at that particular time. But for now, he has a job to do as the head of state and as a chancellor of the universities that are here. Your second question is very important, and you should also know that the president directed me to issue a statement on the same. There were supposed to be a review in December, and when the president was launching the performance review contracts for government officials and ministries, he did mention that he's going to use also the review, the performance contracts in reviewing the cabinet. And the president directed that we should let you, the people of Malawi, that review is being done as we speak right now in consultation with the vice president, and that the new cabinet will come out in the first quarter of the year 2021. So the president is on course. He hasn't broken any promise. The review is underway as we speak right now, and the new cabinet will come in the first quarter of the year 2021. That's end of March, if I want to be specific. So by the end of March, we should have the new cabinet. Do we have another question? But I also want to make sure that even those that may not be able to understand us in English, they should also understand in Chichewa. Peter Makosa kuchokera ku Nottingham ku United Kingdom akufunsa kunena kuti kuda President Chakwera adalonjeza kuti adzakhala president sadzakhala chancellor wa ma university. Chachitika mchiyani kuti pano tinaona kumzuzu akuaveka u chancellor. Ndiye manena kuti President Chakwera ndiwodzipereka kwambiri kuti asakhale chancellor wa ma university. Ndipo nthawi imene amakopa wanthu kuti awavotere kuti akhale president wa dziko lino ananena motsindika ndithu kuti pakhale anthu ena amene akhoza kuigwira ntchitoyi osati president. Anayipereka nkhani ku nduna wa zamalamulo kuti aunike ndi kubweretsa nkhani ku parliament kuti ikonzedwe. Koma malamulo apanopa akumulola president kukhala chancellor wa ma university. Ndipo ntchito imeneyi ikuyenera kugwiridwa panopa chifukwa pali ophunzira amene akuyenera kuchita graduate. Ndiye ngati pokhapokha malamulo sadasinthidwe, president akhala akugwira ntchito imeneyi, koma he is committed ndi wodzipereka kuti malamulowa asinthidwe kuti iwowo asapitire kukhala chancellor. Koma sangapange zimenezo pano malamulo asanasinthike. So we need to change the law. Ndipo malamulo asinthika. President is very committed. Nkhani ikapita ku parliament akayikambirana ndipo zimenezi zitheka. Koma tisaphwanye malamulo chifukwa malamulo pakadali panopa akupatsa mphamvu mtsogoleri wa dziko kuti akhale chancellor. Ndiye chifukwa chake anapita ku Mzuni, posachedwa apa president apita ku Masti kumene akavekenso u chancellor. Zimenezi zikuchitika malingana ndi malamulo apanopa mmene zimakhalira. Koma until we change, a president adzalolera monga mmene analonjezera kuti pakhale wena ma chancellor. Koma pakadali pano malamulo oyendetsera zimenezo akumulola president kukhala chancellor wa ma university. Funso lanu lachiwiri ndi funso lofunika kwambiri. Mudanena kunena kuti pakhala nduna za boma tidzizazifunsa pa mbalambanda mmene agwirira ntchito zawo. President ananena pa July 10 ndipo takhati ukamba kunena kuti zimenezi adanena ndithu pamene amalumiritsa nduna za boma. Koma mu November pamene amachita launch ma performance contracts under reforms adanenanso kuti ma contracts amenewo adzagwiritsidwanso ntchito pounguza mmene nduna za boma zagwirira ntchito zawo. Ndiye adanenanso adandituma ineyo kuti ndiuze dziko la Malawi kunena kuti nkhani imeneyo tsopano yasintha, sikhala muholo kapena pambalambanda kumene nduna za boma zitsikafunsidwa mafunso chifukwa cha COVID. Mapeto ake kuunika kukuchitika mkati muno, ndipo akhala akukumana ndi a vice president kuti aunikire zimenezi kuti kodi zingakhale bwanji. Ndiye ntchito imeneyi kuchitika, a president akukumana ndi achiwiri wawo kukambirana ndi kuona kuti kodi review imeneyo ingakhale. Chabwino, let's take, I don't know how much time we have. We have 12 more minutes. Let's take other questions. Where's Nyirongo Chamaza, kuchokera ku Capital Radio? Having listened to your response on teachers' strike, why is that the government has put teachers in the category of first beneficiaries? Okay. First beneficiaries of the COVID-19 vaccine, if they are not regarded to be at risk, so that they receive risk allowances. What I'm saying is that I still come back to the earlier point that I raised. We are guided by science, and that should be the take-home message in as far as this question is concerned. Madam Wezi from Capital. The teachers, they are doing a very good job. They are teaching our children, the future generations of our country. But we are saying, as we begin to look at who is at risk and who is not, there are stages that have been given by scientists on who should be helped first and who should come second. And if we respect that, we will see that we are all on an equal footing in as far as the understanding is concerned. So they are playing a very important role in as far as we are concerned, and the president did not give any contradictory remarks in as far as this issue is concerned. The president said, let the COVID committee discuss, and the presidential committee on COVID-19, they discussed, and they gave the same, they gave their reaction to TUM. What we are saying, and what the president is saying, is let the discussions continue as the teachers go back to school, so that learning should continue. And if there are areas that need to be discussed, we should be discussing while the sessions are going on in various institutions in this country. Next question. All what you need to do is to raise your hand, then we'll take your question. Martha, do we have anyone? Okay, I am told that we really want to take your questions. If we have 5 more minutes, we may be able to take one more question.
Hi, Brian.
Yes, is this Frank?
Yes, Brian. I wanted to take you back to the issue of cabinet assessment and reviews.
Yes.
What parameters is the president going to use to assess these cabinet ministers? In this case, what should we expect? For example, if he is assessing the finance minister, what are the key indicators that we should expect him to use?
It's a very good question. Yes.
My second question, which is related to my first.
Yeah.
If you understand, how is the president coping with the current vacancies in the cabinet? And we have a situation where recently social media was awash with news that one of the deputy ministers is outside the country. And already we had the loss of the 2 cabinet ministers, which looks like a very big gap. How is the president coping with these gaps? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frank Piri, for your questions. I'll start with your second question. As I said, we will have a new cabinet, by the end of the first quarter, which is end March, and the 2 portfolios you are referring to, we will be filled at that particular time. But there is no need to panic or to worry, because each ministry has, different people that are running it. We are talking of the principal secretaries, there are directors there. In why he is firing or hiring a cabinet minister, he may decide to exercise that right today or tomorrow, or wait for the March that we have been told. So it's the issue of the presidential prerogatives, really, in hiring and firing a cabinet minister. But be assured that the president will fill in those vacancies that are in the Ministry of Transport and also in the Ministry of Local Government. It will be done. Or what I can say, these borders on presidential prerogatives. The second issue you have talked about, which benchmarks is the president going to use, since we have moved away from the area benchmarks that were put in place. His Excellency the President together with the Vice President, they will find, or they are finding, the best way in which they can assess their cabinet ministers. What will also help them, as I said in the beginning, is the issue of the performance contracts. So they will be able to see how much has been done since each cabinet minister was appointed from July 10, when new members of cabinet were sworn in. So there are set benchmarks that they are looking at, and if it was public, as it was earlier announced, Malawians could have known which benchmarks are being used. But be assured they are doing a good job, and they have set goals on scoring each and every cabinet minister in terms of what they have been able to achieve in their respective ministries. Well, on that note, we will then wrap up this virtual edition of the State House brief. I would like to sincerely thank you all for joining us in Malawi and beyond. We wish we had more time, but as I said, we can only do 1 hour. Media houses have been able to give us airtime of 1 hour, and we don't want to blow that 1 hour. And we want to thank you. The press office is always open. If you want to get more details, you can contact the press office, Brian Banda at statehouse.mw. Brian Banda at statehouse.mw. The next State House briefing will take place on Monday, the 15th of March. Until then, thanking you for joining us at this hour, and may you have a good day. Thank you.